Like, who is the MPAA? Who are they? Just this arbitrary group of people who are like, here's what you can and can't.
Yeah, and I called Adam Green, who directed the Hatchet movies and Frozen, and Victor Crowley and I asked him for his advice, and his advice was basically like, just give up. He goes, because they're not going to change, and we fought, and we didn't win a single fight.
And they don't have to.
They don't have to.
That's the thing. They don't have to.
No, not at all.
You're relying on their benevolence, which I can't imagine they have.
There is none,
right?
No.
They care nothing for America's jokers.
Does this bug you that your boy's trying to exist in a climate that's like Soviet-era Russia?
Does it bug me?
Yeah, all this censorship. Should he be able to say his Tom Selleck joke without fear of...
Well, here's the thing. I'm not on anybody's side. But if they want... I'm not. But if they want to keep it... What is it, GP?
That's interesting.
GP?
PG-13.
All right, PG-13. If they want to keep it PG-13, and I'm sure that's what you want to do because a lot of your fans are,
of course,
are children and young adults.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to keep it that way. And if they're saying, okay, this is R because of this, and you want to keep that rating, you have to do what they say.
How far do you let them go, though?
Choice.
How far can you bend before you snap? Because I have the answer if you want it.
Well, what is your answer? Because I wouldn't know.
Usually it's one question and then I fly into a rage and confront anyone who's trying to tell me not to do something.
It's a different type of snapping.
Right,
He's talking about.
Yeah, it involves legality, but, not that kind. So the movie comes out this Friday.
This Friday premieres
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we're all excited about it.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to a movie premiere before?
No, this is my first time. I'm excited
you're
about it.
Be a guest of honor.
Well,
I mean,
he's the
Q's
guest.
mom?
She's one of the stars.
Yeah, you're in it.
She has.
It's all about him.
One of the top 3 best jokes of the movie is.
What are you referring? It's all about him. Are you referring to just the movie or in general?
No,
like growing up and stuff.
No, it's not. Okay. It wasn't all about him growing up. No, not at all. I have 2 other sons. It was about all 3 of them.
Did that just start when he got famous and completely out of touch?
When did it become all about him?
It never became all about him. Maybe he thinks it does. No,
he's a pretty grounded
this
guy.
Part of his life, it's about him. Tomorrow night is about him,
as it should,
and his friends.
What do you wander around that retirement community you live in, bragging about your accountant's son? Do you?
Yeah. Hey, I know how that feels.
Do you?
Yeah, I know how that feels. Hey, wait. Remember we were sitting around on the cruise last year, and she was going on and on about some dude in the military. Remember? She was like, "Oh, so and so's son was like a war hero," and you got annoyed by that. Something like that. Yeah.
No,
why would you?
Seriously,
we were in the Haven, and you were going on and on about some guy who was in the army and did something.
Saved the platoon.
It was really not even that impressive compared to having like your own
cruise.
Purple Heart.
That's what I was laughing about. First of all, I wasn't really upset. I was laughing about it, but she was going on about some guy who peeled potatoes in the army, like in Minnesota for 4 years.
I don't even remember this conversation.
And I go, "You're on my boat." I was like, "This is my boat." I was like, "I got to listen to this guy."
Oh, you got a boat?
No, the cruise.
Oh,
the cruise.
Yeah, he bought the Pearl. She's still not impressed.
Talking about the cruise, I mean, this was one of the best cruises ever.
Yeah.
It was great. It was so much fun. Yeah, from the minute I got on to the minute I got off, it was wonderful.
Last couple cruises.
Thank you for that.
I don't mean to use a pun, but like the waters were a little rough at first with me and your mom after that first Space Monkey show, and then
man, that was your fault.
It was your fault for going to the show. I was going to say what I was going to say. That was happening regardless.
No. I think your feelings got hurt there, Brian.
You think my feelings got hurt?
I think your feelings got hurt.
Well, of course I don't want you. I don't really have feelings, but I didn't want you to be mad at me.
What?
I didn't want you to be mad at me.
I wasn't
for
mad.
Something I didn't write. Well, you got upset. You stormed out. You were like, because I was reading graphic descriptions of the Jokers having sex.
Actually, what made me storm out was not so much what you said.
Oh, who was it?
Was my son said something I didn't like at all.
Whoa, what did I say?
So this whole time I thought it was all me?
You really want me to go through that?
Of course, what are you talking about?
That's all we do.
Look at everybody's eyes lighting up.
Well, okay, here's the thing.
Can you clean it up?
You know what?
PG-13.
I thought it was very, very in poor taste. Oh, I don't remember the whole thing. It was something about being on a ship, but this part I remember. Okay, it was about.
This is what made you storm that.
Well, it was one of the things, and it was the straw. Okay. You were talking about a kid with cancer.
Yes.
And you said, so this kid with cancer died. Wouldn't it be great if we put him in a coffin and just shoved him out to sea?
Yeah.
And that I thought was I thought was the most horrible thing you could ever say.
Well, I remember
because there are. What do you mean? What? And you're looking at me like that's a good thing to say. What about all these people who do have cancer and they heard something like that? My God, it was horrible.
A burial at sea is a very noble.
That's like a Viking funeral.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the burial. To you, it was you were joking. It was just joking. The whole thing. I don't know.
Well, I
didn't like it. I didn't like it. So
it's not for everyone.
So I did get up.
He's got to be edgy.
I don't know.
If he's going to do anything, he's got to walk that line between horrible, bad taste and
he can't be
somewhat funny.
Well, I didn't like
kind of funny.
Okay? I didn't like it.
Baseline funny.
So I did get up.
Debatably funny.
I did get up and I walked out because it was not for me.
And you brought my father in tow with you. You grabbed him and made him come with you.
Well, I think he was ready to go also.
The cancer thing got him?
This whole time I thought it was just me. I didn't know that he was a part of it. Because after that, we made up and we spent time on every cruise together. Wait a
minute. But now, here's the thing. This is why I thought we had these hard feelings. And I'm glad it's coming out because I thought you were mad at me for walking out. And I had
how many people have walked out on me?
Well, wait a minute. I told someone.
Relatives.
I'm not telling you who I told, but I told someone. I says, between you and me.
You got to tell us who you told.
No way.
Why?
No way.
Off the record, you could tell us.
No, I'm not telling you.
Too much integrity.
I said, between you and me, don't tell my son that I walked out. Right?
Let me do it.
It wasn't even you. I said, just don't tell my son that I walked out. The next day, I come backstage for something, and you're the one who said, "Oh, I heard you walked out." I go, "Well, how did he find out that I walked out?" I had no idea.
But everybody in the cruise knows who you are.
Well, anyway.
So then, when you got up and walked out, the word's going to get back to us.
Then you said to me, "I guess I can't hang out with your son Brian anymore." And I said, "No, I guess not."
Victim playing the victim card, yeah.
And that was it.
Her steely resolve made me think we were over.
You went and talked to me for a year and a half after that.
I don't really see you that often, but on the next cruise.
I know.
We got together, and the next cruise we're playing bingo.
So don't tell me the hard feelings were on my side.
I didn't have any hard feelings.
I thought you
I would
did.
never get mad at you if you're like, this is too much. I agree, it is too much, but these are things I need to say.
Do you remember the cancer kid joke?
Yes. What happened was I was asking Sal, you have options, you do these different things, and I said, you have to go on a children's hospice cruise.
Yeah.
And, they go out, and then when they came back and see the parents at the port who are hopefully waiting, and they're like, no, just shake their head like, no, your kid didn't make it. And then you were like, why couldn't you just put him in a coffin and send him afloat in the middle of the sea? Like, why do you got to bring him all the way back?
Right.
Right.
I didn't know
That's an issue?
The whole thing. Yeah, I just didn't like it.
A little dark.
That's honestly, a little prudish to walk out on that, though.
Whose side are you on anyway?
He's totally on your side. Yeah.
I mean, I would have walked out with you.
Trust me, my Walter's on your side.
Well, anyway, that was that story.
Yeah. But
I haven't been to one since.
That's probably for the better.
For the best.
That's for the best. Well, I don't think I have been to one since.
So were you on the last cruise?
I was.
Yeah.
You didn't attend the Space Monkeys shows?
I did not because
you thought there'd be more cancer kid jokes?
No, it was kind of they do it at 12 o'clock at night.
New.
My bedtime's about 8:30 at night. So yeah.
We've got as many different cancer jokes as there are different cancers.
I tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Your brother was on
Jimmy?
Danny.
Danny.
He was on the cruise last year.
My younger brother.
And he went to see the show. And he came back and he says it was the best show on the cruise.
Whoa.
And they laughed hysterically. He goes, it was really funny.
Yeah.
So I said, it was?
It is kind of a specific audience, not for everyone.
Well, Carol Quinn is known for, let's say,
here we go. Tell my secret.
backhanded compliments.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, those are the ones she delivers.
All right.
Yeah. It's good.
What's it like watching this? Because I know I practically raised your son with you. I mean, I've known this kid since he was, 19, 20?
18,
Yeah, 18, so young.
Well, you had a big influence on him, I think, and some of it very well. Very good.
Some of it not so great.
Some of it.
Some of it, no, I have to. Well, we'll be talking about the bad part, but now we'll talk about the good part.
Oh, okay.
Some of it, I think you got him through some pretty rough times.
Some relationship stuff, maybe.
I don't know, but I'm not getting into
I love
it.
him.
But I think you
He did. Well, yeah,
you got him through some stuff.
I always say there were 4 people who saved my life and in my 20s, and it's Brian Johnson, it's Stacey Vitella, it's Sal Volcano, and Scott Mosher. Without those 4 people, it would have been a rough one. It would have been rough.
Yeah.
I only had Q and once Sal got famous.
Do I
didn't
pop
have
up
him
in the
either.
30s?
What's up?
Do I pop up in the 30s?
Kick in the 30s.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
My mom's got me.
Just me. Probably all those
I'm
other
the one
the other
who-
4 are forgotten. And it's just
I'm
me.
the one who messed him up for the first year 1 to year 20.
And made me do all this hard work in his 30s. Thank you. Thank you, Carol.
It takes a village. Yeah.
Well, Q showed up when Walt was 30, and then Walt acknowledged him as a friend when he was 50. It's a tough nut to crack, this one. I've been at it since 5th grade.
Well, let's hear about the good stuff, though. You were going to talk about.
I think that was it.
Well, that was it. Yeah.
Okay.
That was it. Yeah.
I get it.
Much like Q, it wasn't one-sided. Anytime I needed to call someone, this was the guy. If I were upset, until this day, if I'm making a call to someone where I'm like, I need their advice, Q's the guy.
That's good.
And vice versa.
You need somebody in your life with that, so that's good.
Yeah. He's one of these people. It's like life without Q in it, to me, is just like, you can't conceive of it.
Well, let's
Or Walt.
hope everybody at the movie theaters thinks so. This weekend,
They need more
Yes.
Q.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
They need more Q.
If the movie flops, if it's a Heaven's Gate
It's a
level failure,
Ishtar type.
yeah, it is basically the end of my career. And people see me in the street, they spit at me. It does so bad. How are you handling this in the villages? In your
Now, do
community?
people?
Brian
This
who?
is an interesting question. This is a good question. Is everyone around? Are they aware that this is Q of
Where
Impractical
are
Jokers?
these villages?
Oh, it's in Florida.
Oh, it's nice.
It's
down there.
a retirement,
retirement community
called
in
the
Florida.
Village.
It's almost the entire state at this point. It's like
It's-
Outbreak in the
it's so
beginning.
Big.
It's great. Well, I love it there. You would love it. Yeah, it's,
I would
it's
like
nice.
to live in a retirement community.
It's
Yeah.
everybody drives around in golf carts.
Sounds like heaven.
You don't-
I think that's what heaven will probably be like.
Well, golf carts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like-
living in a big retirement community.
That's what it is, like Heaven's Waiting Room in retirement.
It's a resort community. That's if you're on vacation, that's where you would go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you were on vacation, that's where you would definitely go.
Are there any within the community? Are there any upstarts, like the younger ones that are like a little bit boisterous? Or are there people where you're like, hey man, you can't do this stuff, bring it
No,
over?
not at all.
No, everybody's real cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they're the nicest people in the world.
Huh?
Yeah, they're really good people, and
You didn't feel that way when you lived in Staten Island?
Staten Island. Staten Island had good people, really nice people, but Staten Island, I didn't start living in Staten Island
Right.
because it was a work thing. You got up in the morning, you went to work, you came home, went to bed, got up in the morning, went to work. Your family.
Walt's like, sounds like heaven.
It's just, no, it's
You had
just,
some chicken fingers.
yeah,
Chicken finger here
yeah, I
and
was
there.
always tired now.
Do you find it
was-
difficult filling up the hours being retired?
Oh heck no. First when I first retired, I was afraid that was going to happen.
I had to
didn't
browbeat
think-
her into retirement.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah?
Because
Yeah.
that's all I knew. Get
worked
up,
at a
go to
bank, right?
work. Have a full day at work and come home and whatever, and a couple of nice things on the weekends here and there. But
It was no good. You were miserable at the end. Remember, I would be like, Mom,
I was
quit. I'd be like, "Mom,
miserable.
get
But
out,
that's
get
all
out."
I knew. That's
Yeah,
all I
yeah,
knew.
get out.
And it was the best thing ever. As soon as you can retire. Have fun. Wonderful.
What are you doing, Walt? You moving? Villages type situation?
Somewhere a little bit warmer. I don't know. I would have to make sure that there was nobody here that needed me before I could leave. It'd have to be
You
safe.
mean like Johnson?
Yeah. Where do you think I'm going? You're doomed.